Yo, what's up with y'all, man? I hope you're doing good. If you're new and you're a fan of the NBA, subscribe to this channel, so let's get straight into it.
It's like it's Minute Maid, hijack 4, renegade, 24, number 8, Kobe shit fade away, ballin' since 11th grade, still in school, let him hate.
Underrated or overrated? Those two words tend to be some of the more controversial words in the NBA community. Well, actually, I may take that back. More so the word overrated. Majority of people just assume that that's hate and said player isn't good. When in reality, oh my friend, that is very far from the truth. Just because a player is called overrated doesn't mean that he's not good. Like, where do y'all get this logic from? And something similar can even be said about the word underrated. Someone can be called underrated and be perceived as a god. But in reality, all that really means is that said player isn't really valued correctly. Reminder, none of this overrated, underrated talk is that deep at all. It's all subjective. So now that we're all on the same page, hopefully, let's get into the nitty and gritty. Go ahead and follow me on IG and subscribe to the Rusty and Mojo show, so we can hurry up and get this thing going. LaMelo Ball is by far the most polarizing prospect in the class of 2020. Depending on who you're talking to, he's either a future top 3 PG in the league with potential to go ahead and average 25 and 8 in the NBA one day at his peak, or he's another overhyped prospect who will fall way below expectations. Well, which is it? Is he overrated or underrated? Within the next 10 to 11 minutes, hopefully you can get my answer out of this video. Now off rip, ever since the spotlight was on that man LaMelo, since he was legit just a kid, he got a lot of unnecessary hate. It's been around him ever since he was a normal sized human being with a mohawk with dyed tips, and a pair of those classic buck teeth hooping for Chino Hills. All the hate that he got back in the day felt so unnecessary, and more so felt like envy. And for people on this planet of Earth to have envy for a 13 to 14-year-old boy, that's, I ain't gonna lie, that's like top 5 weirdest things I've ever seen in my life. You were one of those people who hated on LaMelo back in high school?
Weird. Buddy, you're weird.
If you're one of those people, hopefully you grew out of that and took that hate out of your heart. If you're still one of those people though, I ain't gonna lie, bro, you're a very strange person. Over time, LaMelo has changed though. He's changed a lot. He's a legit 6'7" point guard now and no longer has buck teeth. Not only physically did he change though, but mentally he took major leaps as well. I remember there would be moments where he would do and say things that aren't necessarily appropriate at the time.
I can't believe I'm saying that phrase. Well, he is the lunatic phrase. Beat that nigga ass. Beat that nigga ass.
But those type of things should be expected as a teenage boy growing up in America. We're all idiots. Idiots who eventually grow out of that phase and see much better days. Ugh. A bar check. LaMelo off of the court has pretty much molded himself into a dependable poster boy. He's literally done nothing to go ahead and diminish his image. Who has helped diminish his image as time has went on is his father though. We all know what he did to Zoe's reputation. If you're talking about Lonzo Ball, you can't last without 3 seconds without mentioning his dad. His dad made him out to be hot stuff right out the gate in the NBA, leading to everyone and their mom wanting to try him and test him. See what Zoe is really made of. It got so bad to the point where whenever LaVar made a new statement, it would get more coverage than anything Lonzo would actually do in his profession. These days it feels like LaVar's name doesn't hold as much weight as it did back in the past. We've seen his craziness for a good amount of time now, and the media has just gotten numb to it. We're used to it. That aspect right there in LaMelo's life will play a huge part in what type of player he ends up becoming in the future. There's not much of a target on his back anymore, if any. So as a rookie coming into the NBA, I expect LaMelo to have a much better first year in the league than his brother. To give you more context as to why I think so, and also to lengthen the length of this video, we're gonna get into the technicalities, the pros and cons, and all of that. LaMelo's greatest attributes are, for one, his height, secondly, his instincts, and lastly, his athleticism. LaMelo is a very intriguing prospect because of the combination of skills that he has. He's light, quick on his feet, and probably the most entertaining player out of everyone in the draft. LaMelo's excitement and the ability to get the crowd up off of their feet is a real skill set. A skill set that struggling organizations who are in the dirt would love to acquire. His shooting ability, speed, size, height, finesse, and instincts sets him apart from majority of the players in the draft according to scouts. This 2020 NBA draft specifically, nobody else reeks as much as LaMelo. Nobody gives off or smells like a franchise type player. And for that, and also because of this clout, his name has a tendency to surpass everyone else's. LaMelo is basically the poster boy for this draft class, and honestly, it's quite deserving. If you're looking for the best player in general in this class, many will lean towards LaMelo. That statement right there left a few people watching this video kinda clueless. One of the things that fans who are casual watchers of the game that we all love do is stat watch, which is an okay thing to do. It's not the worst thing in the world, but you just gotta know that it leaves off so much context. The only thing that stats can do is tell you what it is and not why it is what it is. It lacks true reason and direction for answers. In his time overseas in Australia, he averaged 17.7 rebounds and 7 assists per game. That stat line right there sounds like peak Lonzo Ball stats if you ask me. Now, why a lot of people aren't sold on LaMelo is because of his shooting splits. 37% from the field, 25% from three, and only 72% from the line is seriously underwhelming. Most dudes who watch basketball who read that stat line and those percentages may have been like this. Wait a minute, isn't this that light-skinned, buck-teeth kid who played over there in Chino Hills, who was chucking and splashing threes in a regulated game? I see it and I understand it. Just for a quick second though, why people think he's overrated. But here's the truth though, or at least my truth, he's not overrated. In fact, I believe he is underrated if anything. Now, as I, Mojo99, proceed to get into my bag and let you know why I think the way I think, I'm gonna need you to do just a few things, okay? First off, I'm gonna need you to listen. Secondly, I'm gonna need you to relax. And lastly, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and leave a like on this video. We have to hit that big 40,000 subscribers on YouTube before Halloween. Level of difficulty is one of the biggest things that goes over people's head. LaMelo Ball is in the NBL, the National Basketball League, which is more advanced than the NCAA. Overseas basketball is more superior from a skill and difficulty aspect than college basketball. He's not out there hooping with other 18, 19, 20, and 21-year-olds. LaMelo is hooping with dudes out there who have families to feed and legacies to build. LaMelo Ball and any other college prospect that you try to compare him to right now are not the same. Secondly, the man didn't even get to play out a full-on season. He literally only played 12 games, which isn't nearly enough to judge him, his efficiency, and how good he can be in the NBA. His season got cut super short due to a bone bruise. His injury is what really made this draft oh so confusing. There's no such thing as a clear-cut #1 pick in this draft compared to the past. Everyone has their downfalls, limitations, and worries, but LaMelo Ball just has something different to him. What separates him from the rest, in my opinion, is the it factor. I've said it before. The it factor. I don't know what exactly it is, but I can't explain it, and I don't think anyone can really do so. But we all know that it exists, and it's a very real thing. Only 6, 7, maybe 8 players in the league year in and year out have it. This it factor may be just an illusion, or maybe something that separates stars from superstars. LaMelo just has that swag and that aura to him, that takeover mentality and ability, and it feels like Killian Hayes just doesn't. He seems limited. And what is limiting him from being picked ahead of LaMelo Ball, if that does happen, is the lack of having the it factor and his ability to play in the spotlight. I don't think anyone has worries or nightmares about LaMelo Ball being the face of a struggling organization like the... I don't know what it is, but that it factor is very real, and only a select group of players in the league right now attain it. Now, this sense that I'm having of him having the it factor just honestly could be a complete fluke, I'll admit it, but I was just taught to go with my instincts growing up, and my instincts tell me that it is within him. The last thing that I have to mention about LaMelo Ball and his whole entire draft situation and things like that is that, you know, his team really sucked. They didn't do him no justice. LaMelo was literally on one of the worst NBL teams. These last few years, this organization literally made no noise and consistently fell towards the very bottom of the standings these last few years. So he's up against better talent, better players, better teams on a really whack roster. His efficiency is so bad for a reason. Now, yes, he does need to work on his shooting in general and just make better decisions. But with context added into this entire situation explaining why his shooting percentages suck, maybe his field goal percentage doesn't seem so atrocious after all. The last 4 games that he played, it seemed like he was finally finding his rhythm and getting things together, right before he got hurt though. In his final 4 games, he shot 42% from the field, 33% from 3, and averaged 24, 9, and 9. And after that, he got ruled out due to injury. Small sample size, but promising sight to see. In this very video, produced by yours truly, Mojo99, LaMelo Ball is an underrated draft prospect. If this video gets the love it deserves, and I'm gonna keep this series going maybe once a week. My partner in crime, Rusty Buckets, gave me this idea and wanted to see me possibly make this a series. Now, hey, I ain't gonna lie, I like this idea, but I want y'all to like it more than I do. So go ahead and destroy that thumbs up button, leave a like, share this video, and do all those great things. But aside from all that, at very least, I hope that you go ahead and make your day great. I'll get right with you.
No way, no way, yeah. When I couldn't get my girl, who'd ever thought?